My name is Keosha Burton, and I'm here to do an organizational assessment of Organization Orange. Just a little bit about me. I have a background in journalism, media administration, leadership courses. I've been in education for over 8 years, and so I think that that makes me suitable to do this assessment. A little bit about Organization Orange. It is a pre-K through 8 school that houses over 75 employees, over about 450 students. It provides inclusive education, special education services, a plethora of things. What I want to say is that overall, I think this assessment is important because um, the evidence-based assessment it allows this organization to look at real results and base those results off of their employees, um, and use those results of their employees to make tailored solutions and not just universal solutions. So that's why I think this sort of assessment is important. I want to first look at perception issues in the workplace. So, with Organization Orange, I observed a few perception issues: status quo, um, perceptual bias, affinity bias. I noticed that, a lot of employees they look down upon each other based on position and title, and they may view another as inadequate. I know that there is overconfidence, that some employees feel like they are overly capable. I also noticed that there's like sort of a cliquey bias where people are only subject to their certain friend groups and they're not welcoming to others. As a suggestion of all of these biases, resistant change, the clickiness, the overconfidence, the viewpoint bias, I've suggested that this organization requires change and guidance in that change for the bias where people just they don't want to conform. As far as affinity bias goes, I think that it's important that this organization provides opportunities for their employees to connect outside of work, to notice their commonalities and build relationships. I think another thing that this organization can do is, compare results of staff and use that as a tool to help other staff grow for those staff who are overconfident in their ability. And I think that this organization can also give more tasks to staff who are seen as inadequate by their peers. Another thing I noticed in assessing Organization Orange is ethics, the communication of ethics, and just increasing those ethics. And so I think that what this organization can do to increase the ethics is lead by example. Leadership has to lead by example in order to encourage others to do what they need them to do. I think that they also need to communicate ethical practices. You cannot expect employees to be ethical when ethics aren't defined. Another recommendation I would suggest for this organization is rewards. People love rewards. As they provide rewards for great ethics, I think that it would not only encourage the employees who are moral to continue to be this way, but I think it would employ and encourage employees who aren't or are on the fence to begin to become moral and ethic. Um, Finally, I think that communication isn't just enough. Training needs to be provided for these employees um, to learn what ethics looks like, and they need examples of that. I also noticed that in regards to corporate responsibility, Um, there is some Organization Orange has touched in that area, but there, however, are recommendations from my observation that I would suggest for this organization to enhance their corporate social responsibility. One, I think that they can improve and increase their social entrepreneurship. Um, I think that they can do that with offering outside family supplies, food boxes, clothing, and extend that beyond just the parents of that school, but also the community. I think that this organization can also enhance its level of CRS by donating funds to relevant causes, both locally and outside of the area. I think they could also prioritize communication of their efforts and practices on social media, on the news, to make the community aware of what they do. And I think lastly, they can promote diversity and inclusion by partnering with diverse businesses and organizations. So in my assessment, I also noticed that there are ways that they can improve their services provided. One of the ways I suggested is an assisted teacher day. I think that in that we can empower through that method, we could have the organization empower their employees, sorry, their parents, by allowing them to connect with the teachers and assist in the classroom, and it builds the relationship and it makes them spread the word and want to send their students there because they feel the inclusion. Another thing I suggested is that an after hours helpline for students who are struggling academically and just don't have access to the help they need at home. They look at family collaboration nights. And so, with that, you would allow families to come in and connect and build relationships with the teachers, with the support staff, with the leadership. And also, in that, they can be assisted with the content that their students are learning and learn more about what their children are being taught in the classroom. And so that was the approach, the creative approach, sorry, that I felt that Organization Orange could do to enhance their services. And so with that, it will probably look at maybe a budget of possibly about just a little, maybe over roughly over $27,000. And that will be over the course of a year. Maybe every Monday, fourth and second Monday of the year. And so that would include food and activities, giveaways to support parent involvement. Lastly, I'm sorry, before my last point, I want to talk about the motivation and then in my observation, what I feel that Organization Orange could do to motivate their employees. I think that there needs to be recognition. Employees need to be recognized for their efforts, and in that, it would maybe increase their performance. I think that they can also motivate them with tangible gifts, monetary gifts that would motivate them. I think that they could also provide treats and snacks. Who does not love food? I think that would be great. I think that they could also link pay to performance, increase pay, give bonuses, and that's for that aspect. So, as far as the final point, I think The vision and mission and core values of Organization Orange can be communicated by, um, you know, through visuals. They need to be present in the building. They need to be communicated in trainings to assure that employees are getting a proper understanding of what they stand for. They also can be communicated in the gear that's provided, the keychains, whatever they provide to their employees. And I think lastly that these could also be presented in newsletters that go out to employees and to parents and orientations, and then that way you can keep all parties of this organization informed. And so, with that being said, I just want to say that if Organization Orange can apply all of these methods, I do not see how they cannot be successful. I think it will take some time, but if they stick to these methods and suggestions, they can take their organization to the next level. Thank you.